Hey friends, Call here. I hope you all are doing well. It is Tuesday night. I hope you had a great Tuesday night. Today we're going to be making some stretch bracelets, which is, if I'm being honest, a little out of my comfort zone, but that's okay. That's okay, because if we didn't get pushed out of our comfort zones every so often, we wouldn't grow, right? We have to push ourselves out of that comfort zone in order every so often in order to keep moving forward. So we're going to do that today. Also, if you guys are over there on the Softflex VIB group, today's joyful beading prompt is making bracelets with stretch magic. I don't know if it's necessarily making bracelets or using stretch magic in a design, so we're going to do that. It is kind of late, so I don't know if I'm going to get this finished in time to post pictures over there, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to work with this anyway. So before we get into this, here is our words of wisdom today. And I think I really needed to see this. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. And the reason I say that is because I've been trying to work hard to grow my channel. And I know they say the first 1,000 viewers are the hardest. And we're at about, I think, 760, which is, I'm just so amazingly grateful for. But sometimes I get a little discouraged because I do see some of my friends out there who are getting that 1,000 mark and, rightfully deserve. They are out there working their patooties off. So good on them, and they deserve all of that. I take nothing away from anybody. I'm just disheartened in myself because I feel like I'm not moving as fast as I should be. But I have to keep in mind, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop. And I am not going to stop. I'm going to commit myself to this, or be committed, one or the other. Something is going to be committed, my friends. But yeah, so I really needed to see that, to kind of give myself a little bit of a break, because I am moving forward. It just might be a little slower than some people, and that's okay. All right, so today, like I said, we're making some stretch bracelets. I have a couple samples here from Beebeecraft. Guys, I don't know if you remember, but I will hopefully remember to link the Beebeecraft unboxing video in my description box. I know I said that before, and I totally forgot. But yeah, look at this little cutie patootie. Now, I know this is just a little teeny tiny baby bracelet, but this is for a little girl, actually. It's for my friend's daughter, and I think she's like 4 or 5. So that's why that's teeny beanie. I just thought that was so cute with the jewel tone colors. Oh my gosh. This is what my heart said when I opened up these charms. When I saw these charms, this is what my heart told me I wanted to do. I wanted to do like a little, because they're kind of, I guess, dragonflies. And a lot of times when I think of dragonflies, I think of jewel tone. So I thought a little jewel tone, this was not really a jewel tone color, but it's a beautiful color. But that's kind of what my heart wanted. But that's not where we're going to do a little bit different. But I just wanted to show you what I've been working on. So yeah, so we're going to do this one first. Now, I have 2 sizes of Stretch Magic. I have a 0.8, I have a 0.5. It also, I believe, comes in a 0.7 and a 1 millimeter. I do like the 1 millimeter for chunky beads, but these are my preference. Now, I brought a couple others. Guys, I don't make a whole lot of stretch bracelets, but I did bring out some other types that I have. So I have this Crystal Tech. This is a low-key, overseas one, but this one is a good one. Don't sleep on that. So sometimes you will get, if you order, I've ordered from different places before, and you get like big multi-packs of beads, and sometimes they will send this for free. This is good stuff, guys. It's not terrible. Here's another one that's overseas, not terrible. I got this one free. I've used it, I think, once, and it wasn't bad. And then we have this Elasticity from Beadalon. This is really good too. I will say though, I feel like this is more kind of slippy, where I feel like the Stretch Magic is just a little more grabby. I feel like this Elasticity, it's really strong and it's beautiful, beautiful cord, but I find it's a little harder to knot because I think the knots slip a little bit more on this. But I haven't used it in a while, so to be fair, I don't know. And then we also have, this is, I have not used this obviously, but this is like a fabric. It's a fiber cord. So Excuse me, guys. So I don't know how well this works. Somebody gifted this to me, and I have not had a chance to use it yet. But if I do, I will let you know. So yeah, but we're going to go with the Stretch Magic because the Stretch Magic is probably my favorite stretch cord to use. I haven't tried Opalon or Elonga yet, but I do love the Stretch Magic. So we're gonna use both of them in different projects. This one I guess we'll do first because this is a little bit of a harder one because we're actually going to double strand this up and put it on a little hoopty homemade needle that I made just for bead stringing. I mean, just for elastic stringing. For you'll see what I'm saying. But I just want to show you the beads real quick. So these were, because this is my Beebeecraft, and I do want to make sure I give all these beads love. So these were like a 10-pack of Z agate, and you can see they come in all different. There's some red brownish ones here. There's some clear and green ones. There's some green and dark ones. There's these. This is what I use, this colorway. There's this one is just, oh my gosh, look at this strand. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but this reminds me of giraffe. I'm not sure why, but just those markings, they just remind me of giraffe, like giraffe print, sort of. But yeah, so these are gorgeous. And like I said, you get 10 of these. They are randomly selected. Let me get out my homework. So those are the natural, they're Honey Handy, the natural Tibetan style Z beads. They are 6 millimeters. You get 10 strands for $12.63. Guys, I'll link all that stuff in the box. I'm just telling you so you know as we go along. So yeah, so this is what we're using. And we're also using these spacer beads. These were the Tibetan alloy metal spacer beads. Again, you got 10 strands. Guys, I will say I got a lot of multiple strands. I got a ton of these dragonflies. I think I got 4 strands. I got 1 strand of these love. And then I got a couple flower strands. And then I got 1 strand of these more bulkier beads. It's fine. But I just want you guys to know that you can get repeats. So if you might get a couple of the same strands. But if you don't mind that, those were 10 pieces, and that was $8.23. So, I mean, they're less than $1 a strand. But yeah, so we're actually going to be using these two. I got a smaller flower and a bigger flower. We're going to be using this and the other stretch bracelet. All right, but we're going to do this one. So I am going to be using the 0.5 millimeter cord. So that is obviously going to be the smaller cord. Let me just free my friends here. All right, now I did 2 different, I did a couple spacer beads with this one, and then I wanted to see what it looked like with just 1 spacer bead. I'll be honest, I didn't think I was going to like these spacer beads because I thought they would be too big for these 6 millimeter beads, but I do kind of like them. So I think we're gonna do another one with the multiple spacer beads because I do like them actually, which I was surprised. But hey, listen, my friends, you never know. You might not like them at first, and then you might decide, yeah, I like them. They're great. Whoa! There she goes. All right. On a mission. That one's on a spiritual journey to find itself. Because I certainly don't see it. All right. So, you will also need, so this is my little handy needle trick. So, basically, what this is a, I think they call these big eye needles. I did bring the package over. This is what they call the big eye needles. I don't use many of them because I don't seed bead or any of that kind of stuff. But I have this, and basically I just kind of cut the top. So the top is open. So you'll see why in a second. You're also going to need some glue, and you're going to need a little bead stopper. As far as tools go, you're just going to need some scissors and maybe a ruler. Like just a regular scissors and a ruler, whatever kind of scissors. Guys, don't be using your good cutters to cut this stuff, okay? Because it could dull your blades. So don't do it. Don't do it. All right, so this is the 5 millimeters. So we are going to, and guys, you get a ton of this stuff, and it's relatively inexpensive. So I'm a little, I'm a little free with it sometimes. So I'm going to cut myself about 20 to 22 inches. I know that sounds like a terrible amount of cord for a 8-inch bracelet, but you'll see why. You'll see why. So let's go ahead and we will cut that. I'm really nervous, guys, because I don't even know if I do these right. I'm just going to show you. Listen, there's probably tons. There's not probably. There definitely is tons of different ways you can make stretch bracelets. I'm just showing you guys how I make mine. It might not be the best way. You might find somebody else does it better. I mean, you know, I'm not that confident, but I want to share because I think sometimes it's really helpful if you watch multiple people kind of do the same thing, and then you can figure out where your comfort level might be. You know what I mean? So some people do things differently that you might relate to more, that you might think's a little easier. So I did also want to show you, in case you don't have any of these big eye needles, you can use tiger tail. Guys, I don't use tiger tail for much, but you can use it for this. And I know usually everybody has at least one little spool of tiger tail because, I mean, a lot of people do currently bead with it, and I think that's great. I don't like to use it because I think it's too stiff. Basically, it's too stiff for me. But, like, I don't like the way things lay on it. I will use it for, like, non-jewelry projects, and that works really great for, like, sun catchers, things like that. But for jewelry making, I don't usually, and I didn't bring over any tools, so I'm just going to cut it with my scissors. What you can do, oh, I should have brought over tools. Give me 1 second. I'm not even going to pause it. I'm just going to casually saunter over to my tool area and grab a pair of pliers. So what you can do is, and I didn't come up with this method. I actually saw a woman do it, and I wish I remembered what her channel was. It was a while ago. And she actually gave me the idea for this thing. But so what she does is she takes the tiger tail, she kind of puts it together like this at the loop at the bottom, and then she'll take her pliers, and she says she does this. She like makes this little, like, she squeezes and makes this little bend here, kind of creating her own wire. I mean, her own needle. And so it looks like that. And so basically it kind of works the same as this. So if you don't have these big eye needles and you want to try this, you can use your tiger tail because it works because it's a stiffer wire. You don't want to have it that long, but you'll get the picture in a second. I'm going to show you. I'm getting there, my friends. I'm getting there. All right. All right, so we have some of these spacer beads, and we have this, and we have that. Let's put these to the side. All right, so now what we are going to do is we're always going to want to pre-stretch, guys. You always want to pre-stretch. So what I like to do is I'll take a little piece, I'll do a little stretch. I'll just go down and do these little, you don't have to pull, like we're not Hercules. We're not trying to bring the gold home. And then I will, after I do that, I will kind of do a wingspan stretch. So I'll grab either end, and you're not going to see this because my camera's not that big, but I'll do a wingspan stretch, right? I'll just take my arms and go to the side and do that. You can double it up, do little stretches, but you want to definitely heat up, stretch up, pre-stretch that wire. It's like, you know, like any good athlete needs to pre-game. Oh, no, right. That's what we do. We pre-game. They pre-stretch. Anyway, this is unhinged beading. You can tell it's late at night. Kyle is not right. Oh, that rhymed. Okay. So you're going to find the middle here, right? And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to insert your flying V. That's what I like to call it. Into the middle. So then you have, here it is. There it is. Okay. Fantastic. Now we're going to, and I'm sorry if you can't see this really well. I mean, this cord was designed to be invisible, so I apologize for that. We're going to take our bead stopper and we're going to go ahead and put our bead stopper. Guys, you can also tie a little knot here because you can just cut it off. That's fine. So if you don't have a bead stopper, no worries. You can just tie a little knot in there. I like to use my bead stopper because I have them. All right, so this is what you have, right? I guess we'll keep it this way. So now we're going to get out our beads. I want to measure a little pattern. Let's see what I did here. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 beads and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spacers. And I think this came out to just a little bit short of 8 inches. But these are for my husband. This came out a little bit longer, but this is for my husband, and he has like 7-inch wrists. For a bulky dude, he's got really dainty wrists. I don't understand it. Like, he's not a big guy. He's only about 5'9", but he's bulky. He's muscular and whatnot. And he's got these little baby wrists. I don't get it. But yeah, so basically, there we go. That's what it looks like. Yeah. So we are going to make a third one because I'm going to make them a little stack. All right. So you always want to start out with making as much noise as you can. You always want to start out with, I guess we'll do it this way. That makes more sense. With your stopper bead or with your spacer bead. There's multiple names for this. I don't know why I call it a stopper bead. It's the hide a knot bead. That's what this is. This is where we're hiding knots. We're hiding all the bodies in this guy. Okay. I mean knots. You know what I meant. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pinch this up, right? Just go up here. So it's kind of like a one little wire. You're going to go ahead, you're going to put that on, and then you're just going to bring that down. And why it's important that you want your tie a knot bead here is because this is where you're going to be tying your knot, right? This side is where you're going to tie your knot, and this is where you're going to want to hide your knot. So you want to make sure that's the first one you put on. All right, so let's throw a couple of these on here. I think we said 5, right? Yeah, we'll do the 5. Let's make them match. Or should I do 6 and make it slightly bigger? But that might make it really a lot bigger. Yeah, let's just do 5. So that's 1. The trick is to keep these needles together, and then you will have no issues. There we go. 1, 2. 3, and fortunately these Z beads have kind of bigger holes, so that works out perfect. 4 and 5. I tried to separate them with those little crystals that I got too, but they wouldn't fit on the double strands. So we're going to put another spacer on. Okay. And then just kind of pull them down. Then we're going to put another 5 beads on. Did y'all get out there and vote today? I did. I had thought about not because, you know, I don't know. I didn't know who to vote for, I'm going to be honest. But I figured it out. But my son, who's like 23, he'll be 24 next month. He actually texted me and he said, "Mom, did you vote?" And I said, "No, I hadn't got out and voted yet." And he said, "Haley and I voted. We were so excited." And I was like, "Oh, that's great." He's like, "Mom, you have to go out and vote." He's like, "I know you probably don't want to." He's like, "But I think it's a good idea." And I was so proud that here is my son who is so young, you know, 24 years old, and he just was really about, you know, doing all the right things. And I'm just such a proud mom. It was such a proud mom moment that I just was like, you know what? You're right. You're right, son. It's my obligation as an American to vote. And so I did. And I felt a lot better about it. But I understand it's not for everybody. I am not political at all. I will not, other than saying I voted today, ever talk politics, but because I think that's a personal thing. I also think it's a thing that causes division. And I kind of like my friends, you know what I mean? And I don't think it's worth being divided over just because you might have an opinion that differs from somebody else. So I just don't like to do that, you know? I'm about bringing people together. I'm not about, you know, division and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to live that life. So I think things that can be polarizing, I guess is the word I want to use. Things that can be polarizing can really, you know, I just don't think it's necessary. It's just private. Keep it to yourself. If you're the type of person that likes to do that, that's great. That's just not me. That's not what I do. All right. Because I just love everyone. Okay, and we're going to do 5 more. And guys, you can do however many your pattern is. This is just what I've come up with. I think the more important thing here is learning the knots and how to tie off the bracelet, I think. And that's what I struggle with the most, I think, is the knots. But I've developed a pretty decent method, I think, of tying the knots off. I don't know. It works for me. It might work for you too. I hope it does. Where is your hole? Listen. We're not, if you don't force it, my friends, don't force it, because, you know, you shouldn't be forcing those things. You shouldn't be forcing it. Ponytails, you know, don't force none of that. Forcing stuff is not good. Just let it go natural. All right, let's do one more, and then we're going to do one more spacer bead, and then I think we're going to do our last 5. I think we're going to be moving on to our last 5 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because I said 5 spacer beads. All right. And now we get to do the knot, which I pray to God I do not mess up, because it's entirely possible that like I said, I don't do these. Look, I'm already talking myself out of it. I need to stop that. I really need to stop that and just be confident that I can do this. I mean, listen, I did these 2, right? Just be confident. Easier said than done. This is so true. Easier said than done, but I promise you, it's a little scary to be confident at first, but hopefully it pays off. All right, so here we go. Now we can go ahead and check our length. This should be a little shy of 8 inches. If it's like the other one, it should be. Yeah, just a little bit shy of 8 inches. You know, I could add another bead in here and nobody would really be the wiser. I mean, who's counting beads, right? Maybe I'll do that. Let's see how awful it looks. Maybe it'll be all right. Just sneak an extra bead in there. Make it a solid 8, right? Make it a solid 8. Nobody will know. Nobody will know. All right. So now we've got our beads on, and we are going to kind of shimmy them down into the middle-ish. Come on, friends, work with me. And now what is great about this little flying V is we could just, bloop, take it right off. There it goes. Took it right off. So now you'll have a loop, actually, on this end. And then we'll take this off, and we will have our 2 loose ends here. Right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these, and we're going to separate them. Okay, pick a side. We're going to take this loop and we're going to thread one side into the loop. So now I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to slowly kind of pull all these beads down, kind of shimmy them down. Sometimes it helps when you shake them. Basically what you're doing is you're causing this loop to get smaller. So you want to shrink this loop down. So I just do it in little increments to making this loop smaller. See, now you can see that loop is almost gone. It's just a teeny tiny loop. It's just a teeny tiny loop. You know, I could probably make my husband some matching earrings, except his ears aren't pierced. You know, if it's good enough for Jason Momoa. Anyway, all right, so we've got that done. So now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to tie, and this is a fairly big hole here, so I'm not really overly concerned with this not being too big. So we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to tie our knot. I'm just going to do a overhanded knot, right? So we're just going to do, just to lock it in place, we're just going to go ahead and do an overhanded knot just to lock her in place, okay? Just so we have that all fixed and together. What you don't want to do is you don't want to like make it so tight where your beads are kind of like fighting each other and they're like, right? And they look all Frankenstein-y. You want to keep it nice and like a nice free circle. All right, so now we have these 2 beads. So now these 2 beads, now we have these 2 ends. So what we're going to do is like a surgeon's knot. That's what I like to do because I'm a surgeon in my other life. I'm a surgeon on the down low. Okay. So we've got our two cords here. So we've got our right hand and we've got our left-handed. So what I like to do is I like to take my left-handed cord, put it over top of my right-handed cord. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this under once, And then I'm going to do that a second time. So now you're going to see like this little twisty. It's kind of a twisty guy, right? So snug that down a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, kind of put your fingers in here. You want to hold your place. I know it's going to be a little difficult because we're using all of our fingers here. So now what we're going to do is, and we can snug that down just a little bit more. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to take our right-handed cord and we're going to go over our left-handed cord. This is where you need all of your fingers. We're going to do that once. Right. And then we're going to do that twice, like we did with the other cords. Like I said, it's a little bit of a balancing act because we're holding all these cords. Okay, so now you see we have all these cords together. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fingers and I'm actually going to hold it here. And I'm going to just snug down that first one, right? All I did was I changed my fingers. I'll do this again, guys, don't worry. I changed my fingers out of that box and put them in this box, and I snug that knot down. Now I'm going to follow that knot with this second knot, and I'm just going to pull. Now this is kind of the tricky part. So we're going to pull this out a little bit and just slowly see if it slides out. It does not. That knot is locked in there. So to make it just a little more secure, this is what we call the bouncy method. We're going to take our fingers and we're just going to bounce, 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 right? So what that's doing is that's kind of cinching up that knot. At least that's what they say it does. Again, ready? Bounce, 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 bounce. But we're not pulling too hard, but we're putting enough pressure on that we're snugging up that knot. Bounce, 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 okay? Again. This knot is secure. You can throw it on your wrist. She's not going anywhere. There she is, okay? It's a nice shape. It's a nice circular shape, and there are no cords showing. So now see, that was pretty easy, right? Uh-oh, did it come out? No, okay. Wait, did that bounce? No, that was just the way the cord was laying. Okay, that is secure. All right, so now we get to bring in our glue, and I'm just like, making sure that's secure. Yeah, it is. Okay. Now we're going to, because it keeps folding under itself. So I keep thinking that it's not the knot coming out. It's just that it's folding under itself. Okay, Kyle, stop freaking out. All right, so now we're going to take our hypo cement. This is what I like to use. You can also use some jewelry glue like Aleene's or whatever. What I wouldn't suggest using super glue though, because I feel like the super glue will cause that knot to get brittle when it dries. Because super glue I don't think is great on stretch cord. It's great on leather, but stretch cord not so much. So what I like to do is I like to take these two ends, kind of move them out of the way, and then I like to kind of hold this apart a little bit here. So this is where we want to glue. We want to glue this little knot. And what's great about this is it has its nozzle, so we can just go ahead and don't worry about putting too much on. You don't want to glob it on, but you also want to make sure you're getting decent coverage. So now I will come in, and you don't have to do this part right away, but I will come in, snip these, and then I will take this knot while it's still wet with the glue, and I will pull it through this metal bead where it's going to live. And just kind of pull them all in place. There we go. So we got no cord showing. And why I like to do that while the glue is still wet, because I don't know about this bead, but sometimes I feel like if you have a dollop of glue while it's still wet, you put it in the bead, that when it dries, it will maybe dry with this bead. So then, you know, it will stay in that bead. That's just my theory. So yeah, there you go. But guys, after you glue this and all this, put this aside for a good 24 hours, right? Give this glue a good 24 hours. I mean, chances are it's not going to fall apart. It's not the glue that's really holding it together. It's the knot. The glue is more of a backup, more of a security thing. Y'all, just a real quick question. How long does it take you guys on average to get this little stick back in here? Wow, that was really quick for me. Usually it's a solid minute and a half. But yeah, inquiring minds want to know. So yeah, so that's basically it. But you're going to want to put your bracelet aside. And you're not going to want to mess with it for a good 24 hours. Let that glue dry. All right, so that was kind of the more trickier method with the double elastic. So guys, if you have the 0.5, because it is a little bit of a thinner one, and you want to do that, if you feel like the double is more secure, then you go ahead and do that. So now we're going to bring out the 8mm, and this one's a little bit more chunky, so she's going to be in there only one time. And I had thought to do this here. We're going to do this pattern. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but this is actually the little girl that I made the other bracelet for. I'm going to make this one for her mom. So they each get a bracelet. Okay. And hopefully I can cut this without losing my fingers. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. We are going to... That's okay. I'll get that one off later. I only really need one of these, to be honest with you. But I think I'm going to use these smaller ones, because where is the other bracelet? Because see how I spaced the colors out with these little dragonflies? So I was thinking of doing the same thing with the smaller flowers. Just spacing the colors out. We're going with 4 colors in this one. We're going to do a little autumn type theme. So we're going to do some oranges and some greens. And I think that'll be so pretty. And then I will tell you all about these beads, these electroplated glass rondelles. They are so beautiful. Let me just show you. They are so beautiful. And these strands are really long. I think these were 15-inch strands, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, they might even be longer than 15. They're pretty long. But yeah, so here's this beautiful orange color that I thought would be nice. And then this is a rose gold type color. It's a little similar to the orange, but a little bit lighter. And then I also have 2 colors. I use some of these, so that's why they're not on the strand. I have a lighter green. Oh, that's the lighter green. So I have a lighter green and a darker green. And I thought since these colors were similar, we could space out, you know, we'll do green and then this color and then another green and this color. So this way they're all spaced out really nice. I thought that would be fun. I hope I brought enough cups. I'm just going to go ahead and just snip. I don't need to be neat about it. I can clean up this mess afterwards. I'm sorry, I just hit you guys. I am so sorry. I didn't bring over my bead scoop, so I can't get too crazy because I don't have my whoop whoop bead scoop. Whoop whoop bead scoop. I'm going to get an endorsement from a bead scoop company. So then I can just go around all day and say whoop whoop bead scoop. Okay. And I've lost 7 viewers. I will never get to 1,000 at this rate. My goodness. All right. I understand. I'm different. I'm a little different. And you guys have been so amazingly kind with all of your comments. Oh, just makes me so happy when you guys tell me, you know what? Diversity is the spice of life. Be weird, right? And I can't agree with you more. Weird is not just, weird is a whole personality, let me tell you. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So if you are weird, my friends, fly those flags high. All right. So I think we have done, okay, we got them all separated. Now, we are getting, this is, like I said, a little bit thicker. I would even almost use maybe a 1mm rather with this, but this is the 0.8. And again, I'm probably going to grab more than I need, but it's stretch magic. Nobody's, you know, nobody's running out. So we're going to do a little pregame stretch. That's how we do, right? Increments. And then I'm going to do the long stretch. And then you can just double it up and do an extra little stretch, right? We're not trying to break it or see how strong we are. We're just trying to stretch it out a little bit, because if not, what happens is over time it will stretch itself out. Once it has the beads on it, you know, it's a little bit of weight, gravity will do its job, and it will loosen up your bracelet over time, and so that's not fun. I don't know what the proper, I think it all really depends on how much you wear these, but I think these are supposed to be like restrung every couple years. I don't know. I don't make a lot of them, so I'm not sure. All right, so we're going to put our little bead stopper on. That has not changed. And this is going to be our hide a knot bead. And this is kind of a small, you know what? This is a little bit of a tiny hole. I don't know how much of a knot we're going to be able to hide in that. There was one other strand here that I thought might work. Excuse the crinkling, but I don't know how large the hole is. So let's see. If not, then I'll probably use one of those other ones. So these are really pretty love beads, and that's kind of, oh, sorry if you didn't see it. That's kind of a really tiny hole too. They say love. They're really pretty. And I think they'd make a great stretch bracelet, but this is a little bit thicker cord, and I don't think I'm going to be able to hide it. If I was using the 0.5, I could hide a 0.5 in there if I was doing a single strand. That's a really small hole for a metal bead. Most metal beads have a little bit bigger holes. So that's okay. So we're just going to use this guy because he has a nice, comfortable hole. Wow. That's what she said. Anyway, moving on. Late night beading with Kyle. Wow, wow. Bum, chicka, bum, bum. So we're going to go ahead and put our stopper bead on. And now we have to figure out our pattern. Let's see. So let's try 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to do, I don't know if I should do the little spacer or the bigger spacer. Now that we're not using the bigger spacers as the hide a knot bead. Guys, what do you think? Maybe, I don't know, big or little. Let's go with the bigger ones, I guess. Let's see that. And then, like I said, we'll do 5 of the green, this green, and then we'll separate them out. And I don't know if this will be long enough. If not, we'll just add more beads, not a problem. Okay, we'll do another flower. Is this all on? Okay, it is. And then we'll do the orange. The orange is really pretty. There was also red, and I thought about doing red in here, but I didn't want it to look Christmassy with the green, because this is more harvest than Christmas, my friends. Christmas is right around the corner, but harvest is first. Let's give the lady her respect. All right, so we used the darker green, so now we're going to use the lighter green. Okay, oh, these lighter green ones are so pretty. And it's really hard to tell the length here because the beads are laying on a different side than they would. And then we're going to do one more. We're going to do one more flower? Or no. No, we don't. Okay. So let's see how long this is. We might have to add more beads. I think we should add one of each color. One more of each color should do it. Hopefully. I don't know. But the important thing is tying the knots and learning that. I can always add more beads, but I think that's going to be good. All right. So let's start our pattern, shall we? I have spoken enough. All right. Let's go ahead and do that. I kind of like how, let's see, do I want it to end with the lighter? Yeah, let's just do it, Carl. Just get it done. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and maybe string these on here. It might take all day. Should I string these on and then come back? What do you think, guys? Should I string these on and then that will make the video a lot shorter, won't it? Won't it? I think it will. And I could stop yelling at you guys too. All right. Let me just get this little section on. I mean, you guys know how to string beads. You just put the elastic, you put it through the hole. There it is. Okay. I'll be right back. And the magic of TV, this will be all strung up. Okay, my friends, poof, and we're back. Through the power of magic brought to you by the studio of How Did She Do That? I'm returned. And I actually had to, that sounded way better in my head than it did when I said it. I apologize for that. But anywho's, I actually had to add a 7th bead to my pattern because it just wasn't long enough. So I had to take it off and restring it again. So aren't you glad you missed all that? So we are done here. So we're going to go ahead and take our clip off. And we're going to kind of bring our beads to the middle. So we have equal parts of cord. Okay. So again, we're going to have our, excuse me, I have to take a sip. I probably should have taken a sip when I was on my break, but I totally forgot, to be honest with you. Y'all know I'll be getting parched for reasons that I'm not going to talk about. Okay, so we're going to bring this down. So again, we're going to have our left cord and our right cord. I'll have to teach myself. Okay, this is the right. Okay, so I like to lead with my left. So I'll take the left cord and I will place it over top of the right cord, right? You know what? Let's just do 1 knot to lock us in. That's what we need to do first. So we're just doing 1 overhanded knot, and that's just going to lock us into place there, right? And then we can go ahead and do this part. So this way we're not losing our beads if we drop it. Okay, so left cord, right cord. We're going to take our left cord, we're going to put it over top of our right cord, and then we're going to go underneath 1 time and then 2 times. So then we have this little spirally dude. So go ahead and bring him down a little bit, right? Putting our fingers in here so we don't lose it. Now we're going to take our right and our left cord. We're going to take our right cord, holding all of this somehow. Like I said, guys, there's probably a better way to do this, but this is how I do it. We're going to take our right cord over top of our left cord. Yeah. It's harder to do on video, honestly. Let's just lay this down and do it like I did before. Okay, right cord over left cord. Under once. It's easier when you lay it down. It's harder to see it. I'm just trying to teach it, and it's harder to teach it when it's laying down, but it's really the easiest way to do this. And then twice. So then you have this. So now you have a little box of spirals. So now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to put our fingers and just pull and put that first. You really didn't see the 2 boxes because it slipped out of my fingers, but that's okay. We're going to lay that knot in, and then we're going to take this knot and we're just going to follow through, right? Onto that other knot. Now that's a little bit of a big knot. So what we want to do is we want to bounce, 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 right? Bounce, bounce, bounce. And what that does is it kind of works that knot down a little bit. Like you know, bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. And then we're going to take it and then we're just going to pull it apart gently. And we don't really have much slippage, but we also want to tighten it up. Like I said, I don't know if this is the best way to do it. This is just the way I've always done it. Right? It's a nice circular shape. Once we hide that knot, all will be gravy. It looks really small, doesn't it? I don't understand why they look so small. I mean, they're 8 inches. I guess because I'm not measuring. I'm only measuring the, I guess maybe you should make them a little bit bigger than 7 inches. Maybe make them 7.5 inches. Like the man's bracelet was 8 inches, and I feel like that was kind of small too, but I don't know. I don't understand bracelet math. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't understand bracelet math sometimes. I really don't. All right. I don't get it. I don't get most math, but bracelet math I really don't understand. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that knot separated from its friends. We're going to one-hand this glue like the professional that we are. Okay. I'm holding these a little bit, putting this glue in here. Try not to get glue on the beads, Call. Okay. Nice and glued up in there. We're going to take our scissors. I'm not even holding them right. I'm going to go ahead, cut that side. And we're going to cut this side, making sure that glue is not touching those crystals. Okay. And now while this glue is still wet, we're going to just go ahead and shimmy. Sometimes you got to shimmy it, depending on how big the knot is. You got to shimmy it in there. Come on, guy. Shimmy in there. Okay. Oh my goodness, look what happened. I shimmied it too much. My goodness. Well, so use this as a learning experience, my friends, and don't shimmy it too much. That was embarrassing. Let me go ahead and string that up again. Give me a second. Here we go. It's magic. Yeah, I meant for that to happen so that I could show you guys. It's so funny because I was telling you guys I'm not good with bracelet math, and then my bracelet broke, and in my mind I said, apparently you're not good with glue either, but here we are. So we are back to where we were, except I did take that opportunity to also add an 8th bead because I thought that bracelet looked really small, and now I think it looks too long, but that's okay. It'll be fine. So I actually, I think with this 0.8, I think the problem is the knot that I made with the 0.5, it makes too big of a knot for this cord, and it will just not fit into that hole. So we're going to do something slightly different. It's going to just be, you know, kind of the same, just less of a bigger knot. It's going to be more of a demure knot, mindful and demure. Okay. So we're going to take our cords. Again, it doesn't matter which side you want. I'm just going to make one overhanded knot just to lock our bracelet in place. Okay. Oops, don't do that. That's always fun when that happens. Listen, I told you. Guys, if you struggle with these stretch bracelets, I'm here to tell you. So do I. Clearly. Clearly, that wasn't the right way to go. Let's try that again. Actually, you know what? Let's just not pull it so tight this time. Or should we just do our regular, let's just do our regular surgeon's knot, okay? You know, let's just do it. Okay, so we got left cord, right cord. We're going to take our left cord over top of our right cord, and we're going to wrap that around twice. I am not going to do the other side. We're just going to do this, and then we're going to pull it together. Pull it together. Is that what we're doing? Or should we do the first knot first? Yeah, I do struggle with stretch bracelets. Let's just make a simple knot here. I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea. All right. Don't pull it too tight because that's when your beads fall through. Now let's go ahead and make our surgeon's knot. So we're going to go over once and then twice. Is that like a full surgeon's knot or half surgeon's knot? Because usually I make the second tier, but we're not going to do that with this one. We're just going to go ahead and bring that down. Bounce it, bounce it. Bring it down and bounce it. Bounce it, bounce it. And now we're going to do the stretch. Oh, yes. It's in there, thank God. Sometimes after you put that simple surgeon's knot in there, sometimes it's not always secure. I think that worked better this time. I wish I could cut out the other part where it didn't work out so well. But I'm kind of glad that you got to see me struggle because that might help you. And if seeing me struggle, not seeing me struggle, but if seeing that I struggle with this too helps your confidence a little, then I'm happy to be here for you, my friend. My job here is done. So we're just going to bounce it just a little more. Okay. Now we're going to glue. Now we're going to glue. And hopefully not have another disaster. And then I want to bring out my bracelet measure thing just to be, see, that's definitely a smaller, more mindful knot. I don't know what I was thinking with that gargantuan knot before. That's the problem. The knot was just too big. And I just tried too hard to force it. And, you know, I didn't take my own advice. Don't force things, my friends. Don't force them. I'm just going to go ahead. I like to put a little tension when I'm cutting these. Okay. Okay, now we're going to try to pull this knot in here again. Shimmy it. It's going. Yeah. Just and then you'll feel it once it goes in there. That knot is completely in there now. And there we have our beautiful bracelet. It was a little bit of a trial and error, my friends. Here we go. Y'all want to take bets now how long it takes me to get this cap in here? If you would have said 10 seconds, you would have lost because I did that in 5. All right. So yeah, so let's bring in all of our bracelets. We had a wonderful, wonderful day full of bracelets. Little stretchy bracelets, guys. I hope that it was fun for you. I mean, it was fun for me. I just love hanging out with you guys anytime I can. And I'm really hoping to do more videos. I'm going to challenge myself to do like maybe 4 a week. You know, see how that goes. But yeah, these are all the gorgeous beads, again, from Beebeecraft, guys. I will link all of the Beebeecraft stuff. Hold on, let me get my bracelet bar, but I'm going to continue to talk. I will link all of the Beebeecraft stuff in the description box. I will link every single the products that I use today. So I'll link the Z beads, I'll link the crystals, and I'll link these guys. I do have a coupon code, guys. If you use Colleen 10, COLLEEN 10, that will save you 10% off your order. I will put their website in the description box. Also, guys, if you have over 500 subscribers on your YouTube channel, if you're trying to do what I'm doing and, you know, see if you like this sort of thing, you can apply for their affiliate program. I will leave the link in the description box for that as well. And then you can try this out on your channel and see if it's right for you. I mean, it's a lot of fun, guys. I'm having so much fun with this Beebeecraft. This is my second Beebeecraft order, and I have not so far been disappointed. They've been great products. I've been a little disappointed. Honestly, the only thing I was disappointed about were these spacers. Just because, not the quality, but just because I was hoping for a little bit more of a variety. But that's really all I can complain about. That's really all. So I just wanted to look at that. See, it's not even 7 inches. Like, I don't understand bracelet math. This one is about just 7. Well, this is for a little kid anyway, but this one's like 6 inches. Is that too big for a kid? I never make kid jewelry, so I don't know. I don't know what size to make for kids, but that's what I did. So yeah. So guys, I hope you are having a great night. Go out, make some stretch bracelets. What's really funny about stretch bracelets, I'll let you go really quick, but they are really the easiest thing. Like, you don't need tools. They're easy. Kids make them all the time. Why I struggle with them, I don't know. But if you are like me and you struggle with these stretch bracelets, maybe our minds are just programmed to do more difficult things because we want to make everything more difficult. I don't really understand. But if you struggle with stretch bracelets, you're not the only one, my friends. Just be patient, and just keep trying. Try different knots, watch different videos, you know, and find a way that's comfortable for you. That is comfortable for you. So yeah. All right, my friends, you have a wonderful night. And you know what I say? Go plant the beans. Go plant those magical beans, my friends. Doodles.